Okay, everybody. Hi, I am Jillynn Fisher, and I have Dr. Thomas here with me tonight, and I am super excited about this. She is amazing. She has done her research into these products, and I just appreciate you taking the time to be here. I know there are 1,000 things that happen in life and 1,000 other places you could probably be. So I definitely appreciate you taking the time to just listen to some amazing information, in my opinion, and I know Dr. Thomas's as well. So she is going to be sharing these products with you tonight, and I am just so excited to introduce you to her. Her name is Dr. Jillynn Thomas. She is a osteopathic doctor in the Minneapolis area. She is the president-elect of the Minnesota Osteopathic Medicine Society, Medical Society, and she is also the medical director of the spine clinic at Health East. I have my doctor here in Des Moines was one of the doctors she did her training under, and she will tell you a little bit more about her story and all of that. But she has a lot of great information for you, so I will just let her take it away. And Jenny, I'm excited to have you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jillynn. I'm really excited to be here and really excited to talk to everybody about LifeVantage and biohacking your body. You know, I first got introduced to the products about 2 months ago now by a physician who has mentored me ever since I was in medical school, Dr. Figueroa. And he called me, and I could hear in his voice that there was something a little different. He seemed like he had a little more energy. He was a little more upbeat. And so I asked him, you know, how things are going. And he said, oh, I haven't talked to you since I started taking this new supplement. And I was kind of taken aback because when I was in medical school, he was very anti-supplements because he was always, you know, like all doctors are, you know, we want to see the evidence behind medications or supplements. And, you know, at the time that I was going through medical school, there really wasn't a lot of evidence about supplements being effective at doing anything beneficial for your health. So, you know, he started to tell me that he was feeling so much more energy, his mood was better, his back pain was gone. I mean, I'm a spine doctor, like Jillynn said, and he had been talking to me about his back pain. I've been trying to help him with that, and I really, unfortunately, even with injections and physical therapy, we hadn't been getting anywhere, and then he starts taking this supplement, and his back pain's gone. So he had me very interested there, but, you know, it was my turn to be skeptical and kind of say, all right, well, Dr. Figueroa, show me the evidence behind these supplements. And I was literally dumbfounded when he told me, oh yeah, just look on PubMed, which is the website where all doctors go to look at the latest research and journals on research studies that have been done. And there are 23 articles that have Protandim mentioned in them where they've studied this supplement. So I became very interested, and I started to do my own homework, and I realized that with the science behind this product, like, I needed to start taking it. And not only me, but essentially everyone in my family now takes it, from my 3-year-old nephew to my 75-year-old dad, and even my skeptical physician husband. So we're all taking it, and so I'm really, really excited to share these products with you. And we're going to start out tonight by just watching quickly that ABC video that really just kind of put the nail in the coffin for me in these products. So let me pull that up here for you.
The following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig, Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Jill McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Okay, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
It's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful. So, doctor, how often do I take these? And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. Doesn't taste bad. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down. And so you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me? But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%. That's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma, I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease,
yes,
depression.
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. But because it's being sold as a nutritional supplement and not a drug, Protandim does not need FDA approval for safety.
Okay. So we're going to pull up our presentation here. And we're gonna get started. We've got a ton of information to go over. I'm super excited. So, LifeVantage's kind of slogan is biohack your body. And so what does that really mean? And when we talk about biohacking your body, we're talking about essentially nutrigenomics, which means nutrition and gene function, or how our genes express themselves. We used to kind of think in the past that your genes were, you were dealt the hand that you were given, and whatever those genes were going to express, whether that was cancer or some sort of disease, you were stuck with that hand. And now we've kind of learned that based on what you put in your body, whether that's nutrition or nutritional supplements, you can change the expression of your genes. So you're not doomed to have these terrible diseases, even if that's what your genes maybe started out kind of predisposing you for. You can actually change your genes, and that's what we mean by when we say biohacking your body. Sorry, Jillian's telling me that my slideshow is not up here. So is that better? Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So as you can imagine, after that ABC video and people kind of came to understand like this biohacking and what Protandim can do for your body, there was a huge demand for the supplement. And the company, their stock soared initially because everybody wanted this product after seeing this ABC investigative video. The company, though, really didn't have a way to get the products to the people, so their first thought was to sell it in drugstores. So you could get it at like GNC or Walgreens, but they really found that nobody was buying the products in the drugstore. So their stock started to fall. They're actually down to 7 cents a share at one point. And the company kind of panicked, and they hired this consulting company, and they said, hey, we've got this great product, like how do we get it out to the people? So they this consultant company said, hey, after looking at the company, you've got this great story behind the product. The best way for you to move your product is to do a network marketing company, because people need to hear that personal story behind the product. And so that's how we became a network marketing company. And the company has just taken off in the last few years. It's one of the fastest growing network marketing companies. And I truly believe it's because these products are so great. There's actually science behind them and they do work. Now, that being said, I do have to say, since it is a nutritional supplement and we don't have FDA approval as a drug, we can't say that this supplement diagnoses, treats, cures, prevents, mitigates any sort of disease. So we do have to say that disclaimer. But we're going to show you the science behind these products, and then you can do your own homework and decide for yourself. So we won't touch on this. You saw Dr. Joe McCord in the video, and I think I just want to emphasize that, this product was developed by an award-winning scientist. This wasn't just, somebody who has like a nutritional background and they threw together these products. This was the work of someone who is internationally acclaimed for his scientific research on free radicals and how to neutralize them. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of what is this oxidative stress that they were talking about in the video. So you kind of saw that little illustration in the video. They talk about when your cells produce energy, there's always a waste product that is made. So it's kind of like if you think about, you know, when you ride in a car and then your car produces exhaust, the exhaust is essentially the oxidative stress. The problem is with your cells, they don't really have an exhaust pipe where that exhaust can exit the body. Like those free radicals that are produced get stuck in the cell, and then the cell has some natural defenses that can neutralize the free radicals. But over time, especially as we age, our body cannot keep up with the number of free radicals that are produced. And so when the number of free radicals that are produced outnumber the number, your body's own defense capabilities, then we start to see the effects of oxidative stress, which is aging. And aging occurs in every single one of your organ systems that you can see off to the side on the right. So every organ system is affected by oxidative stress. So when we started looking at antioxidants and how can we reduce free radicals and reduce oxidative stress in the body, you know, we had high hopes for things like vitamin C, vitamin E, and beta carotene. But what we found out is that they really don't do a job as we thought they would. If you have one molecule of vitamin C or vitamin E, it can neutralize one free radical, and then that molecule of vitamin E is done. It can't help out anymore. What we found with NRF2, which NRF2 is a messenger protein, and it actually signals your cell to produce more of these naturally occurring free radical neutralizers in the body. And so those are, the fancy names for those are like superoxide dismutase and catalase and glutathione. So those are what go in and eliminate those free radicals. So what we found is with activating one NRF2 messenger protein, it causes a production of these naturally occurring enzymes that neutralize free radicals at a ratio of 1,000,000 to 1. So one NRF2 messenger protein can activate enough of these neutralizers to take care of 1,000,000 free radicals. So it does way more than what we thought vitamin C and vitamin E and beta carotene would do. So, you know, one of the examples that I've heard is like, oh, if you take vitamin C, it's like dumping, if your house is on fire, it's like dumping a Dixie cup of water on it. Whereas with the NRF2 activation, it's like having a sprinkler in every room of your house to take care of that fire. So that's what NRF2 does in reducing oxidative stress in the body. You know, we talk about the science and the institutions that have looked at this. These are big name institutions. I mean, everyone from Harvard University to the American Heart Association to the NIH, especially the National Institute on Aging. You know, people ask me, oh, is this snake oil? And I say, no, like Harvard University, the American Heart Association, they are not going to do research studies on snake oil. So they looked at this because the science behind NRF2 activation is so compelling. Here's one of the articles that came out. This came out a couple years ago in 2015. But, you know, there's a lot of excitement around NRF2. And one of the quotes from this article says, we may be on the verge of a new literature on health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. And that's because oxidative stress, like what we mentioned, it affects every single organ system. So it is at the root cause of so many diseases. And so if we can decrease oxidative stress in the body, what could that mean for decreasing our chances for developing some of these terrible diseases like Alzheimer's disease, cancer, heart disease? So very exciting stuff. I still can't believe they're not teaching it in medical schools yet, but that is definitely coming, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in the next couple of slides. So here's our flagship product, the Protandim Nerve 2 supplement. So Like we talked about, it combats cellular stress through the activation of that NRF2 messenger protein. It is the only supplement proven in a clinical study to reduce oxidative stress in humans by an average of 40% in 30 days. So that is huge. And it also helps to regulate your body's survival genes, which actually means that, in studies in animals, it's shown that it increases lifespan. So some people will argue, oh, well, there were studies done in mice, like how can you equate that to humans? But we can't do longevity studies in humans. It's just not ethical. It's not possible. So, we've done them in mammals. I think that, the evidence is strong enough that we can kind of make that parallel correlation that, if it increases lifespan in other mammals, that it has a high chance of increasing our own lifespan. The other thing I wanted to mention about this is there is a drug out there called Tecfidera, which is an NRF2 activator as well. And the company Biogen, who developed Tecfidera, actually did a study looking at Tecfidera versus Protandim and one other NRF2 supplement. One other supplement that activates NRF2. Now, the interesting thing with this study is that Protandim was actually a more potent activator of NRF2 than Tecfidera, which I'm sure Biogen was not thrilled to have to publish that results, that their own drug got outperformed by a supplement. And I think it's interesting too, like Biogen has invested so much money in this drug, and Tecfidera costs $55,000 a year for this drug, whereas, a year's supply of Protandim is only $480. So, and it's a more potent activator. So we're going to hear more about NRF2 activation for sure as these drug companies start producing more drugs that activate NRF2 because they know about the health benefits. So mitochondrial dysfunction, this is another huge thing that plays a role in aging and also just in cellular function. So the mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. They're what produce energy for the cell. And so if your cells cannot, they don't have functioning mitochondria, they can't produce energy so that the cell can really run at its best. And when cells can't do what they're meant to do, then you can start to see a decline in certain areas. In the right side of the screen, you can see the mitochondrial dysfunction in the center of the screen, and then there are orange dots, and a lot of those are diseases that affect the brain. So Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, Huntington's, Lou Gehrig's disease. So those are, the closer they are to the center, the more affected they are by mitochondrial dysfunction. And then in the blue, those are still affected by mitochondrial dysfunction, but not to the degree that the ones in orange are. So there we see like cardiomyopathy, diabetes, fibromyalgia. So mitochondrial dysfunction is linked with quite a few diseases. So LifeVantage has developed this NRF1 supplement, which helps to increase your mitochondrial production and increase mitochondrial function. So this way your cells can produce more energy, which helps them function at their peak performance. I know, and my doctor knows, we've noticed that when we take the NRF1, that our athletic performance has improved significantly. He told me he was actually able to go out and run for the first time in a long time, and he wasn't sore afterwards. I've noticed that with my weightlifting that I do, that I've been able to break through some personal records and lift weights that I haven't been able to lift before. So, and again, having that good mitochondrial function helps slow cellular aging. So a lot of benefits in this NRF1 supplement as well. So they also have a probiotic, which probiotics are so important for a healthy gut. And we are learning more and more that people who don't have a healthy gut cannot be at optimal health. They can suffer from so many different diseases or symptoms just because they can't absorb nutrients the way that they're supposed to, because their gut leaks when they don't have the right probiotics in there to have a healthy functioning gut and absorb all those nutrients. So the probiotic is great because it has several different strains of probiotic bacteria. And I think what really makes this unique is that they have this biotract coating that allows the probiotic to actually survive in the stomach acid and actually get into your intestines, which is where it needs to be in order to help your gut function. So it has that special BioTract formulation. And then there's also a supplement called Wellmune included in the probiotic. Now, Wellmune is it supports the immune system, and there's actually some studies that show that it decreases your chance of being affected by a virus. You can buy Wellmune on its own for $40, but it's actually included in LifeVantage probiotic, and you know, the probiotic with the Wellmune in it is a total of $40. So it's a great bargain, and it's a really good probiotic. I've definitely noticed a difference with this, and even my mom, who was skeptical, she was like, oh, I was having all these stomach problems, and she's like, after 2 days I feel so much better taking this probiotic. So certainly a lot of health benefits with this, and it will help you absorb the NRF2 and the NRF1 supplements better as well. Now, the Omega is a newer product, and I think it's a really great one for a couple of reasons. So, you know, people will talk about how fresh the fish oil is. It can be traced back to the boat where the fish was caught. There's no fishy aftertaste. You don't burp up fish. And that's great, but what I really want to emphasize are the ingredients in this Omega product. So it's got your Omega-3s, which in the American diet, we don't get enough Omega-3s. So it's got your Omega-3s, but then it's also got Omega-7s. Now, Omega-7s, I had never even heard about Omega-7s until I saw this product, and then I did my own research on Omega-7s. And I can't believe that I haven't heard about it until now, because there's so many health benefits to it. So Cleveland Clinic and Harvard University have actually studied this fairly extensively, and what they found is that Omega-7 decreases cardiovascular risks because it decreases inflammation in the body. And when you decrease inflammation in the body, you can help break the cycle of high blood sugar, elevated lipid levels, which can correspond to excess weight gain, and then insulin insensitivity. So they found that with taking Omega-7s, you can actually break that terrible metabolic cycle. The other thing that's interesting with the Omega-7s is that it's actually been shown to help burn fat, and not only burn fat, but it also prevents the body from being able to form new fat. So it's got some great fat burning properties in it as well. So I think that's what's really exciting about this Omega, is that it does contain this Omega-7. Omega-7, like I said, was studied by Harvard University and Cleveland Clinic, and Harvard University is actually rumored to be applying for a patent for Omega-7 because the benefits are that amazing. So definitely this is something that you want to add to your health repertoire here. Now, the nice thing is with LifeVantage, you can get this Vitality Stack that includes the NRF2, NRF1, Omega, and the Physique. So it's called the Vitality Stack. If you add it to your order in February, you actually will get a free box of Axio. And if you keep that Vitality Stack in your shopping cart for 3 months in a row, then you'll get another box of Axio on that 3rd month order. So great deal here with this Vitality Stack. In addition to the products that I just showed you, they came out with this Physique line to help you burn fat and to help you perform at your best. So we talked about the probiotic, and then they also have a cleanse formula, which is a really great supplement to help do a gentle digestive cleanse. So you take this for 1 week out of the month, and it helps to cleanse toxins out of your body, and then it just helps you absorb nutrients better. So great, natural, very gentle product. We also have got a protein shake. Now, this protein shake is not a meal replacement shake, so it's meant to be used more as like a snack, or just an extra dose of protein, which protein is really important if you want to preserve your lean muscle mass while you're burning fat. People kind of tend to think about wanting to lose weight, which is great. But when you lose weight, you want to be losing the fat and not losing your own muscle mass. The muscle mass is what helps keep you healthy and helps you burn excess calories. So, you know, this protein shake is a great way to help you maintain that lean muscle mass while you're losing weight. And it's got, it tastes great. And then it's got 2 types of protein. It's got a whey protein in it, and then it's also got casein in it. The whey protein is absorbed fairly quickly, whereas the casein gets absorbed more slowly. So it helps keep you feeling full longer. So great protein shake there. And then the last product is a fat burning product. And this product has 2 really unique ingredients that were the first to market. One is called Sinatrol, and it's made out of citrus extracts, and they naturally enhance your metabolism to help you burn more calories. And the other ingredient is called Svetol, and that is made from green coffee extracts. It's got a little bit of caffeine, again, to help boost that metabolism. So that is a great product to really help you burn that stubborn belly fat. And you can see the picture on the right one, a person who has taken this product, and I'm sure that he was working out in the gym too, but you can see that you can really get rid of some of that stubborn belly fat with these products. So Axio, this is a great product to help with energy, mental clarity, and focus. So it's nice because they have a caffeinated version and a decaffeinated version. The caffeinated version, it doesn't have a lot of caffeine. I was kind of nervous about that because I'm very sensitive to caffeine. And the caffeinated version has about 100 milligrams of caffeine, which is about what you would get in a cup of coffee, say if you got it at Starbucks. So, and the decaffeinated version has just a small amount of caffeine in it. So certainly, you know, less than what you would get in a decaffeinated cup of coffee, because I don't know if you know this, but even the decaf coffee has a little bit of caffeine. But these were developed really is not as an energy drink, but to kind of help, you know, when you're going through your day, and you probably hit a point either in the morning and or the afternoon where you just kind of feel like you're dragging. And this product, when you take it, just kind of, it doesn't make you jittery, but it just helps pick up your energy level. It helps you to be able to focus so that you can be as productive as possible at your job or whatever you need to be doing during the day. So great product. I've noticed that for me, like, you know, when I start to feel that grind where I start to get distracted really easily, I take one of these Axios and boom, I'm right back in it and I'm super efficient. So love this product. And there's also some benefits now that they're seeing when we look at it for people who have attention problems. You can see on the right, there's a list of writing from a child who's had some learning disabilities, and you can see the list on the left was before taking Protandim and Axio, and then you can see how the handwriting has changed and the spelling has improved 2 weeks after taking Protandim and the Axio. So great product here. And then they've also developed a skincare line. And it's funny because I had a friend of mine say, you know what, I thought that this company was legitimate until I saw that they started developing all these different products, you know, and the skincare line kind of turned her off initially. And I said, well, wait a minute. They developed a skincare line because they were actually approached by Louisiana University, who said, you know, we're finding out that this NRF2 actually, we think it can prevent skin cancer. So could you develop a skincare line, because we think it would have a lot of benefits for skin. So that's the reason why LifeVantage came up with this skincare line, was because they were approached by a university to develop it. We know that the NRF2, it combats aging, and so it definitely combats aging in the face, which you can see in the picture here from a woman who's been using it for 2 months. But it also helps to protect your skin. Your skin is exposed every day to numerous toxins and abrasive, just abrasive chemicals or, you know, elements, I should say. So like wind, sun, things like that. So NRF2 is a protective factor for your skin. And so they developed a skincare line. I have been into skincare since I've been a teenager. And I have to say that this is one of the best skincare lines that I have ever used. My skin feels so soft and so smooth. And I've actually been struggling with adult acne. And I've noticed that since I've been on it for 2 months, that has been so much better with using this line. And the last product that we're going to talk about before I turn it over to Jillynn is Pet Tandem. So they found that dogs actually have a high level of oxidative stress, but they actually can reduce their oxidative stress when they're given this NRF2 supplement. So they developed it for dogs. You can actually also give it to your cats. I just give my cat about a third to a half of a tablet, but it helps support joint function and mobility, and it helps with making your pet's coat shinier and softer, and it again can increase longevity so that your pet may be around a little bit longer and with better quality of life. So with that, I am going to turn this over to Jillynn to finish the presentation and kind of talk about the business opportunity. So Jillynn, I was introduced through my doctor. She actually has an amazing story behind why she started the products, and I'll let her share that with you. But I was really happy to learn about the business side of it. And I'm glad that she didn't kind of write me off that, oh, she's a physician, she wouldn't be interested in doing this, because I think it is a really amazing business opportunity. And I've been so lucky to partner with her because she is amazing. She knows so much about the company and the products that she's been able to learn and teach others. And she has actually become a Pro 5 in, was it 3 months, Jillynn? 4 months, so which is amazing. So she has done so much, and I'm really excited for her to share about the opportunity that this company has.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate it. You can hear me, right? Okay, good. I love listening to you present these products because I learn something new every time, because you're always doing more research behind the scenes from just even what I've given you to look into. So I totally appreciate that. Like Jenny said, I am Jillynn Fisher. I have been with LifeVantage for almost 5 months now. And I had a friend come to me almost 2 years ago now and introduced me to these products. And I was probably pretty mean. She could tell you that probably. And just told her I was not interested. I have no time to even look into this, but thanks anyway, is kind of what I said. But God brought me to a point in my 4th pregnancy where I was having migraines to the point where, 2, 3, 4 a week. I had 3 other kids. I was homeschooling. My husband was in school full-time and working retail hours, so including weekends and not getting home till 11 o'clock at night. And I could not, I couldn't function. So obviously my prescription migraine medication was not going to help me because I was pregnant and you can't do that. So I reached back out to Amy and said, give me the list of the ingredients. I will look into it and make sure it is safe for me to take while I am pregnant, and I will try it. I'm desperate. And so I started taking it in December of 2016. And have not had a migraine since, which is pretty incredible. And then after I had my baby and was done nursing things, I added some other products and have seen a massive benefit in my thyroid, was able to go off thyroid medication because of that. But the biggest thing with the business is that I was so anti-network marketing. I was the person calling them the crazy pyramid schemes, completely not interested in doing the business. Even after I had built my own testimony with these products, I just kept telling Amy, there's no way you're going to get me to do this business. I'm not interested. And I am just so thankful for her sharing this with me. She could have easily taken a look at my life and said, she is too busy for this. There is no way in the world that she is going to do this. And she could have definitely and probably, by all visible signs, been pretty accurate in her assessment of that. But she chose to share it with me anyway. And I am so thankful because it has been a blessing to our family in a time where we needed it. And it's just been so good from a health perspective and from a business perspective. So I did not join this business for the business. I got my parents on the products, my in-laws, my brother has Lyme disease. I had him taking it all before joining the business. And Amy just came back to me and said, you're leaving a lot of money on the table here. Just FYI. I know you said you didn't want to do this, but if you keep sharing this, you might want to consider it. And so I did. And I will tell you, I didn't know anything about the business when I joined, but I just shared my passion and what I had been studying for a year with the science behind these products, and was able to grow a fairly large business pretty quickly. And so I'm going to share a little bit of information with you. Obviously, I do not believe that the business is for everybody. If you see the validity to what Dr. Thomas is telling you in these products, you'd be right on the money, because they are good, amazing products. And if you are seeing, this is something that would be so great for me to get into my body, that's awesome. Do that. Get back with the person that invited you. 85% of my business and this company is customers. We love customers. That is what I was for a very long time. Because they get the products in their bodies, it changes their life, they feel healthy and they feel amazing, and people don't stop taking things that makes them feel good. And so that customer retention is amazing from a business perspective, and only about 15% of the people within LifeVantage do this as a business. And I'll kind of go into that a little bit more, but that being said, it's not for everybody. But if you're thinking of people in your head that have disease and have ailments and their life could benefit from these things, you might want to take a look at this. And I have become very passionate about this business because I was just sharing, and my husband would come to me and say, "Hey, you made money." And I was like, "Oh, awesome. That's great." I'm just going to keep sharing. I couldn't have even told you if it was showing up in our bank account, because he takes care of all that stuff. And I just kept sharing, and it just kept growing. And I was like, maybe I should look into this a little bit more. And I love research. I love science. I love health. I was a respiratory therapist at the Level 1 Trauma Center here in Des Moines for the last 13 years, and recently quit that job to stay home with my 4 kids. They're 8, 5, 3, and 7 months. And I homeschool. So very busy. We live on a farm, bunch of chickens running around and things like that. But we love it. And so this has kind of fit into the nooks and crannies of my life. I will not say I spent a lot of time on this business, but if I want to kind of switch gears from the medical side, which obviously I'm very passionate about, and switch to the business aspect of this company. And I want you to think for a minute. Obviously, you've heard that these products are amazing. Now, from a business perspective, is that the most important thing in a business? So if you think about a product, Jenny's a doctor, and I worked at the hospital for 13 years. So think about a pill that you could take. You could cut somebody's arm off, and that's okay, because you can give them this pill and they'll grow a limb back. Now, how amazing would that be? You'd want to have access to that product, right? You would want to be able to tell everybody you know about it. You'd want to share that, because you have a product that can do something that nothing else in the whole world can do. That'd be pretty impressive, right? So you have this product, you're excited about it, you walk out of the building where you've learned all about this amazing product. You think, okay, I know so many people that would benefit from this. You can grow limbs back. That's just incredible. But then you walk out of the building, and every vehicle you see has a bumper sticker on it that says, "I sell the magic pill." And everybody you know is able to cut limbs off and give somebody a pill, and they can grow that limb back. At that point, it does not matter that you have the most amazing product in the world, because you have immediately lost your market. And so there's a lot of components that come into play when you look at something from a business perspective. It's not just about the products. We know ours is amazing. We reduce oxidative stress 40% in the first 30 days and up to 70% with continued use. There is no other product in the world that can make those claims. So we're good on the product. Now, where are we on the timing? Because timing is the most important part when you are looking at a product from a business perspective. Now, there are people that can still make money in those saturated markets, But when you look at this S curve, every business goes through this S curve. There's those innovators, early adapters. That's kind of the make it or break it of a company. And you stand to make a lot of money, but you can also be in a company that might shut down. LifeVantage is past that point. They are a very stable company at $200 million a year. But there's also the top of that S curve where that is the saturated market. The average person knows about it. So if you're talking non-network marketing companies, places like Walmart, wouldn't it have been amazing to be the person that heard about Walmart and had that vision for it from the beginning? You got in, and people who did made a lot of money in that company. If you think about any network marketing company that is in that saturated market, things, like Mary Kay or Beachbody or AdCare, the average person has heard of it. If you talk to the average person, medical people and doctors included, they have not heard of Protandim. And so you're in a perfect place financially from a business perspective to potentially make a lot of money. This company is a publicly traded company, so everything that they do is disclosed. They're traded on the NASDAQ. And I want you to take a look at that slide that says momentum. That is where 80% of the money within an organization or company is made. We have not hit momentum. We're in the very beginning stages of hitting that. So from a timing perspective, LifeVantage is in the right spot. From a product perspective, it's in the right spot. From a compensation perspective, it is also in the right spot. This is our distributor compensation summary. Obviously, these numbers have to be accurate because we are publicly traded. And I want you to take a look at that Pro 2, Pro 3 level right there. That was my goal with LifeVantage, was to replace the money I knew I wanted to put into these products for my family and for the health and benefits that I knew that it would be for them. I did not want those products to become a financial burden to our family. So my goal was to just replace the money that I was spending on products. And it became so much more than that. I've seen people's lives just changed from things like IBS that controlled their lives to me with migraines and things like that. And I hit that rank of Pro 3 in the first 30 days and Pro 5 in 4 months. And I'm not saying that that's because I'm amazing, because I'm the most stubborn, probably not very teachable person out there. But when I looked at this, I made the decision right off the bat. I was gonna duplicate what those people in this company have done. People like Carrie Dickey and Shauna Michelle Poe. They did it, and they're giving me every tool I need to duplicate that. And so knowing the ins and outs of this business was not necessary. I inherited an entire team of people that were willing to run with me and work with me, and I didn't need to know all of that. But if you look at Pro 4, Pro 5, that is supplemental income. The reality is that 60,000 people a day are hitting the age of retirement and realizing that they do not have enough money saved up to live at the same level they have become used to. And so they have a decision to make. They can either keep working or live on less. And I don't want to get to that place. And there is a blueprint on how to get to that place of Pro 4, Pro 5 and make that supplemental income for especially those baby boomers that are in that place where they need that extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And then if you look at Pro 6, Pro 7, Pro 8, that replaces about 90% of all American household incomes. You can quit your corporate America job at incomes like that. And that is my goal this year, is to bring my husband home from corporate America, because as you climb that corporate ladder, you make more money, right? But you also trade time for money. When I worked as a respiratory therapist, I would go into work, I'd clock in, I'd work my 12-hour shift, and 2 weeks later, I'd get a paycheck. I haven't gotten a paycheck from the hospital in months because I'm not clocking in, I'm not putting in that time. But with residual income, I am able to do that work. People take these products and I get a small portion of that each month. So it's definitely doable. Whatever you want to do with this company, you inherit a team of people that will do that with you. They will work with you. They will not work harder than you, but they will work with you. And this I say that this was simple. What I did in the last couple months was simple. It was not easy. There is a very big difference. Obviously, I had to make those phone calls. I had to very much care about people and their health and how this could help them. And so you do inherit a team of people that are willing to work with you. And I'll explain that in just a minute. But like I said, the business isn't for everybody. And if you just think, I want to get on these products, they look amazing, they're incredible, that's awesome. Do that. Get back with the person that invited you and do that. These are a couple of the Vitality Stack that Dr. Thomas mentioned. These are the products that are vital for your health. That antioxidant reduction, the mitochondria strength, the gut. 70% of your immune system is in your gut. So if your gut's not healthy, you're not healthy. And then obviously that brain food with the omega-3s and omega-7s and vitamin D3. So those are the things that are so great for your body. And you get free shipping on that and everything else that's in your subscription order. That comes along with that. But if you are thinking of people that you are like, I need to share this with them, there are 3 different options for getting started within LifeVantage. Now, if you think of a brick and mortar building that you want to get started in a business, you're talking upwards of $50,000 in overhead, not to mention the rent that you're going to need to pay. There is no other business model out there where you can invest $1,250 into a company and own your own business and make that residual income. That platinum pack is definitely the way I would go again. If I had to do it over again, I will be completely honest, I would probably never have bought that True Science because I'm not a skincare person, but I have loved what this has done for my 6-year-old skin. I had meningitis when I was pregnant with her, and she has had some issues since then. And one of them being severe eczema, and to the point where she just gouge her skin out and it would bleed. And I, was throwing herbs into pots and mixing up salves and trying everything over the last 6 years to just help her skin that was falling off of her, basically. And I've been using this True Science on her, and it has transformed our family's life and reduced a lot of tears. So with that platinum pack, you get every single product that LifeVantage has, and you develop your story with that. You develop your personal testimony with that, so that when somebody asks you about a product, you know something about it. So there are lots of ways that you are paid as a distributor. You're paid weekly, and those residual checks come on the 15th of every month. It's really nice. Like I said, I didn't pay any attention to that for the first couple months. But if you look at this elite pool down in the bottom right-hand corner, I think this is the biggest difference between LifeVantage and other network marketing companies, in the fact that they give those Pro 7s, Pro 8s, 9s, and 10s 4% of the total global commissionable sales, which is before expenses. And so they want to see you succeed. They want to grow with you. They want to help you in any way that they can. They may not have a team working in Australia, but they want that Australian market to explode because they share in that 1% as a Pro 7, 8, 9, 10. You get another percent as an 8, another percent as a Pro 9, and you share 4% of the global commissionable sales as a Pro 10 in this company. So they have become friends to me, and definitely helps me a lot along the way in just teaching me what they did to get where they are, and they share all of that information with you. So like I said, this business is not for everybody, but I definitely want you to think of the idea of residual income versus linear income. This may not be the option of how you're going to receive residual income, but I definitely challenge you to find a way to do that, because that gives you that time freedom, where the corporate ladder, you trade time for money, and the more money you make, the more time you give. I want my husband home. I want him here to help me raise our children, and for us, I'm thinking about continuing this homeschool thing so that we can just live the life we want to live and go where we want to go, because it's working out pretty well for us right now. So like I said, this isn't for everybody. Get back with the person that invited you. You are going to be in one of three categories. And one is that you're not interested, but I do ask you to keep an open mind or point somebody that you know this could benefit to the person that invited you. You understand these products, but you want a little bit more information. That was me. I did tons of research on that. Get back with the person who invited you and we will get those questions answered. Or three, you want to get started, whether as a customer or as a distributor. Either way, we can get that going today. So thank you so much for your time. I know that was a lot of information, so definitely let us know where you're at. And I thank you so much for taking the time for being here. Have a great